Hey guys, Michael Valentino. In our handover tutorial video today, we're going to be running you through the economy entry-level Aspero unit from BM Pro, a company with Crusader, and their charging board as pictured under here. We have the Aspero unit, or AS Power. It's lithium and AGM compatible, load tested of course, and it is powering your adventure. You've got a QR code on the front there. We'll take you to some of the manuals and some of the details surrounding the Aspero unit. Now, we have, starting up here, of course, is our glass fuse cover. So this guy here contains fuses, although we've taken one or two out for the caravan show we're exhibiting at. So you press together and you pull, and you can remove that to be able to examine each fuse. Trail safe, radio memory is often the yellow wire there, and of course labeled, we've got fridge wire on the side there, a bit hard to see. These guys here are main battery output fuses. So what that means is these run directly to the main output load side of one of these guys right here, which is running directly to our battery over here with a positive and negative lead. So even with the eco mode off, these fuses are still live. So things like gas heater, diesel heaters, trail safes, radio memories, fridge power, if you turn that eco mode off, we don't want those things to turn off. Hence why there is a main load output, and this guy here is going straight to that battery, or straight to the battery via the Aspero unit. Moving our way across, we have another QR code for the scan for support. So we've got all of our manuals and contact details for CES Electrics or BM Pro. We have an ignition protector. So what this does is, this is a main line waterproof breaker, essentially. So it's a resettable fuse. So just to give you an idea of sort of how it progresses, this gentleman right here, the main positive wire of the battery, runs directly to the waterproof breaker up here, to one of these nuts up here, and then this supplies this unit here. So in the event of a battery short or something significant, overcharge, or a technical issue with it, or just even possibly just a bad breaker, this will pop, right? And that will cut the power in the caravan. So when this is popped, you've got no solar, no 240 volt charge, no 12 volt charge, no DC to DC charge, nothing. It has cut the barrier between the caravan battery and the caravan. We also had storage mode. So currently, in a traditional method, that's on, which is obviously not, because we've currently got 12 volt power. Storage mode is if you were putting the van into a shed for a prolonged period of time, or outside, and you want to keep it charging via sun or 240 volt. So what this does is this cuts all of the power in the van, including the display lights, the fridge, so these hardline fuses, stuff like that. The solar and the DC to DC charger down here, which we'll go through, and the 240 volt charger will still continue to charge. So you would flick this up, and then of course our whole system inside the caravan is actually turned off. So and there's a noticeable sort of buzzing coming from here because it's obviously in its storage mode. Flick that back on, pop goes the weasel, everything comes back on, ready to roll. This is our power plug for our 240 volt charger. So this unit is our solar and our 240 volt charger. So the 240 volt charger is obviously going to be charging the batteries at an output of, I believe, 25 amps via the Aspero unit. And then of course you have the solar putting through 25 amps also. We have a DC to DC charger popping through here. So that's the 20 amp mini boost, as symbolized by the green fuse on the back. So your Anderson plug at the front, the gray one, as you plug it in, that's going to be powering and charging this unit right here. And that's going to be charging your batteries at, again, 20 amps as it's driving. So that is a mini boost that's going to enable maximum charge as you're driving to your AGM or lithium battery. We have our Aspero main unit. So the main unit here is a little bit more specific. We have our negative lines like so. We have our positive lines like so. So these guys are fantastically labeled. You've got pump 1, pump 2. Obviously, unless you're running a second pump, this is not active. Output 15 amps, output 15 amps. And these here are individual controls throughout the caravan, such as, your bathroom lighting, your toilet lighting. So these are all the mainline stuff, like your operation of your touch light, your Sirocco fans, all of the hardline 12 volt stuff that will turn off with that main switch. So when you turn the eco mode off at the front, which we're going to run you through at the end of the video, that will turn all of these units off. They're the positives corresponding with the negatives. And that is the Aspero unit as far as the charger goes. On the side here, we have a battery fuse at 40 amps. Green is good. We've got our main line, battery connections, auxiliary inputs. We also have our solar inputs here as well, communication device up here, and we also have some other data cable coming through. So All of these wires run through to our battery, which on this one's 120 amp AGM, but of course the unit is a fully lithium compatible unit. So we're gonna jump to the front, we're gonna show you what the display looks like and how to get the most out of it. So welcome back. While we're in the dark, we've just pulled up at the caravan site. We need to get some 12 volt power flowing through the system. So conventionally in the caravan world, there's normally a little master switch there that you'd flick when you walk inside the van, but it's 2023. We've upgraded from that. We have a nice little panel that everything's compact, and we're going to show you that now. So let's get the power flowing. Eco, boop, bang. Everything is up. Everything is running. Welcome to the Aspero display. This guy's a flat panel display, touch sensitive. As soon as you touch something, it lights up and flows through. We have up here our water tank sensors. So of course, as soon as you fill the water tanks, this system is fitted with 2 tanks. It's going to fill the water tanks all the way up. Water tank levels up here, Aspero branding there. We have a display. This display button simply turns all the LEDs off in case you don't want to see it. If it was in your face at night or you're light sensitive, that would do that. Click the display, comes back on. Eco, of course, turns the whole unit off and then turns the whole unit back on. This unit up here symbolizes battery level. It also symbolizes if you're charging, if you're discharging. So of course, if we weren't plugged into 240, it'd say discharging, or if the sun was out, it'd say charging, depending on the battery voltage. Solar's coming in, we've got AC mains, and auxiliary would be your vehicle. So that will only illuminate when your car is hooked up and charging. So, what more do we need to know about the unit? Well, all the water tank gauges run to the behind the unit. So if you're looking to add extra water tanks, the whole unit would have to come off. You'd have to trace a wire. It gets a little bit fun, but you know, if you're adding an extra water tank aftermarket, that's worth it. Now, one thing fantastic about this unit is it allows for AGM to lithium changes. So, very easily, we just hold down display, and then it's going to go into settings mode. See how it's lithium's flashing up here? We press green, and the AGM changes. Press green, whoop, press green, lithium goes back. So this one's fitted with an AGM, so let's override him. Great. Now, we have these symbols down here symbolize 50 amps, right? So that's saying that the battery is 50, 100, and you change this by pressing P1, which will remove these. These are 10 amp symbolizations. So check this out. Pump 1, pump 1, pump 1, pump 1. It is 50, 100, 110, 120 amps worth of an AGM battery. So if you wanted to add more batteries, what you'd do is you'd press pump 2 until you fill up all the columns. Takes a bit of time, bit of pressing, bit of fun, right? And bang, we've gone to that next 50. So it's now 150 amp AGM battery. Of course, that's not what we want. So we have to go all the way back with my camera lady's arm getting very sore to 120. After you're done, you'd hit display, and then now you have just educated your system on how many amps it has available. So it gives you a true recognition of when it is full, when it is empty, how much is remaining, how much you don't have remaining. And of course, via a BM Pro shunt hooked up with a comms link, which is another video, check it out. You'll be able to see sort of discharge and battery health because it'll give you a full indication of what's going on with it. This Aspero unit is a fantastic unit from BM Pro. There's a heap more to explore. Check out the manuals below and you'll be able to see some of the most fantastic information you've come across and utilizing the system with some aftermarket accessories from BM Pro. Check out more videos and we'll see you back for the 2023 handover tutorials.